Problem 54 on page 464 requires definite integrals to help us solve this application. So as you can see, the number of U.S. citizens age 65 and older from 1900 through 2050 is estimated to be growing at a rate of R of t equals 0.063 t squared minus 0.48 t plus 3.87. And notice this function only applies for that 150-year period. And the function returns millions of people per decade. T is measured in decades, as I mentioned, and when t equals 0, we're talking about the year 1900. So the problem asks us to show that the average rate of growth for U.S. citizens age 65 and older between 2000 and 2050 will be about twice the average rate between 1950 and 2000. So what we're going to need to do is figure out the average value of the function on these two intervals. For that first interval from 2000 to 2050, our average value of our function will look like this. We'll integrate from 10 to 15, and then we'll put the function in here, 0.063 t squared minus 0.48 t plus 3.87 dt, and then we'll divide by the size of that interval, which is 15 minus 10, which is 5. And then we'll do the same thing for the range 1950 to 2000. And so that integral will be the integral from 5 to 10 of the same function. Excuse me, that's a 10 there. Oops. It just keeps getting worse and worse, doesn't it? Let's try and make that a real 10. I don't make blooper reels. This is 0.063 t squared minus 0.48 t plus 3.87 dt, and we're going to divide that thing by 5. The whole thing, the whole integral, not just the function there. So you do the definite integral. When you're done, you divide by 5. Now we've had several strategies for solving these definite integrals. If you want to do it by hand, you can use the power rule and then the fundamental theorem of calculus to plug in 15 and 10 and 10 and 5. But remember, we recently learned about a tool called GeoGebra, which you can use on the web, and you can have it calculate definite integrals for you. So that's what I've done, and I'll show you a picture of that before we arrive at the final answers here. So I plugged each integral into GeoGebra, and these two answers popped out. Now these values, this is the value that I got from 10 to 15, and this is the value for 5 to 10. Those are the values for the definite integrals. To finish off our problem, we'll have to divide each of them by 5 and then show that it's about double. So to finish that off, when you do 39.23 divided by 5, that comes out to be about 7.846. And when you do 19.73 divided by 5, that comes out to about about 3.946. So we have these two averages. This is the average from 2000 to 2050, and this is the average from 1950 to 2000. Then we divide those to show that it's about double. When I divide 7.846 by 3.946, that's approximately 1.988. And I think you'll agree that if we really got, which is approximately 2. So this shows that, yes, in fact, the average from 2000 to 2050 is about double the average from 1950 to 2000. Good luck with the rest of your work.